Hello everyone, Catweazle here. Welcome back to Arkham Horror. There's something in the mist. Using the Kingsport Horror expansion, though we're not seeing a great deal of it. The main reason for that is, well, Yig. He's pretty much kicked us in the ghoulies from the get-go. So, where is everybody? Well, we've got Diana Stanley, who's just going to come out of being lost in time and space. We've got Dexter Drake in the Abyss, who's hopefully going to cast Find Gate and get back to the woods. We have Luke Robinson, who has just been delayed pretty much from the start, and he's still delayed in the Dreamlands. And we've got Wendy Adams, who is in the first part of the Underworld. So our first player this turn will be Dexter Drake. So let's get over to the player area and do the upkeep phase. And here's Dexter. Well, as far as his focus goes, he's pretty much where we want him. He's maxed out his law, and he's got +1, so he's going to have 6 law to cast Find Gate. His speed's fine on 4 because he's not looking to avoid any monsters whatsoever. He's going to get stuck in, well, eventually. His fight can be at 1 because he's using his law for combat pretty much. So he may as well have a high will and try and achieve some horror checks. So other than that, he's ready to go. He's just going to cast Find Gate in the movement phase, and hopefully we will get him back to the woods and he will try and close that gate during the encounter phase. So that's it for Dexter. Let's have a look at Wendy Adams. Here we are with Wendy. She's got 5 clues. She's got that elder sign, but she's also got shriveling, dark cloak, stealth. So she's pretty good. So we are going to use one of her focus. She's got 3, but we're going to use one of it. In fact, we are going to use... Yes, we're going to use 2 of them and put a look up at 5. I don't want any other world shenanigans. Because she's got 3 focus, by the time she comes out of the Underworld, we can pop her back up to 4 when she comes to start closing that gate at the Unvisited Isle. So that's pretty cool. All she's going to do, she's going to move into the second part of the Underworld, have an encounter there, and we'll look for her to come out the turn afterwards to the Unvisited Isle, where she's going to have to deal with the vampire. Right, that's it for Wendy. So let's move on to Luke. I'm always sat on my arse Robinson. And here we are with Luke, who's delayed. So all he's going to do is he's going to stand up, and then he will have yet another Dreamlands encounter. But one thing I forgot from last turn was, because he did move in another world, his special ability, he gains a clue token. So anytime he enters another world area, so he entered the second part of the Dreamlands, so that counts as another area. So he does get a clue token from last turn. So that was something that I'd missed. As mentioned, all he's going to do is stand up. Eventually, next turn, he'll be able to use his gate box, and we shall get him to come out at the Unnameable, where hopefully he will get rid of that. Actually, he could come out at Independence Square. He might come out at Independence Square and deal with the flying polyp. So either or, it's not a big deal. Though actually it might be the Unnameable, because we've got to get rid of a few of those Miskatonic University monsters just in case. Just in case things go bad for one of our other investigators, we'll probably bring him out at the Unnameable. But that could change to Independence Square. We'll see where we are at the end of next turn. Right, so that's Luke. Next up is Diana Stanley. And here we are with Diana. So what's she going to do? Well, she's got a bit of a busy upkeep phase, because it's a bit odd when you're lost in time and space. When you actually come out of time and space, you come out at the upkeep phase. But just before she does come out, let's move her focus. She's only got one focus. So what are we going to do? Well, we've got to move her speed up, because vital to our plans is her having her top speed of a mighty 3. You'll see that now, because now I've done that, that's all we're going to do. We're going to pop across to the board and see where we are going to put her. Here's Diana, lost in time and space, and she's actually going to go to the uptown streets. Now, why in the hell have we put her in a street location? Well, it's quite simple. It's to do with that 3 movement that she's got. Dexter Drake is hopefully going to come out in the woods. We have got to get up to the Miskatonic University streets and kill some of these monsters. We need time. So if Dexter comes out in the woods, that means that next turn, Diana, who goes before Dexter, can move once to the woods, do some trading, and she can actually get some spells, particularly Bind Monster, because then she's going to use her last 2 movement points to go to the Miskatonic University streets, where she will have to fight that Moon Beast first. The reason is, the Moon Beast is a normal monster. It's got nothing to do with the rumour. Therefore, it has to be encountered during the movement phase. We could try and evade it, but with Bind the Monster, we will get 10 dice. Because Diana has got 6 law. So with 6 law and plus 4 from Bind Monster, that will be 10 dice. The Moon Beast will not take any dice away because it's a law check. It's not a combat check, it's a law check. So we've got 10 dice to get 3 successes. So that's why we're doing it this way. Because she's only got 3 speed, we have to put her in uptown streets. Hopefully the Loigor won't go off. But even if it does, we just lose a sanity and a stamina. We've desperately got to kill at least one of those rumour monsters in the Miskatonic University streets, and this is the only way we can do it. So that's Diana, and she's in the uptown streets. That's the end of the upkeep phase. Next up, the movement phase. And here we are, and there's Dexter. So what he's going to do as our first player is he's going to cast Find Gate. Casting modifier is -1. It's going to cost him 1 sanity. During his movement phase, he has to cast and exhaust to immediately return to Arkham from another world. So we're going to exhaust that. He's going to spend a sanity, which puts him down to 3 sanity. And he's going to use his law of 5, plus 1 law for his skill, -1. So we're back down to 5. He's got 5 dice to get 1 success. And he gets a 6. Thank God. Right, so that means he's casted Find Gate and he comes out to the woods. So that's the first bit of our plan achieved. Okay, next up in the movement phase, it is Wendy Adams up at the Underworld. And here's Wendy, quite straightforward. Over she goes into the second half of the Underworld. Next, Luke Robinson. Well, we've all seen this happen before in this game. Yes, Luke Robinson stands up. So that's all he can do in his movement phase. He has stood up. And last but not least, we have Diana Stanley. And here we are with Diana in the uptown streets. One quick thing, Dexter Drake came back out of the abyss, so we had to give him an explored token. Very important explored tokens. In fact, it comes into what I'm telling you now. Diana has 3 movement points, and she can use them now, except she can't. Why can't she use them? Well, for example, if we were thinking, well, why don't we just pop in, see Dexter, do that trading, and then pop back out again? We can't. There's a gate. Dexter hasn't closed it yet. She doesn't have an explored token. She'd be off to the abyss. No good. Okay then, why not go to the Historical Society and pick up that clue? Again, as soon as she picks up the clue, her movement finishes. If she was in the Historical Society, then she couldn't get to Miskatonic University and trade. So basically we just lose 3 movement points, and there's nothing we can do about it. We don't even have a spell that uses movement points. We've got one spell, Forced Learning, but you just use that in the upkeep phase. She couldn't even use that in the upkeep phase because she was lost in time and space. All she could do was come out somewhere on the board. So we've just lost 3 movement points for absolutely rock all. But it's one of those little annoyances in the first 3 turns of this game that are really building up, along with the big annoyances like 2 bloody rumours in the first 3 mythos cards, things like that. But let's just battle on through it, shall we? So poor old Diana, she's stuck there, can't move. Right, oh, so that's it for the movement phase, such as for the movement phase, such as it was. Now we've got the Arkham encounter phase. And we may as well stay here with our first player, Sonny Dexter. What's Dexter going to be doing? Well, he's obviously going to try and close the Abyss Gate. So he's going to close it with Law. So he's got 6 Law. He's got his 5 skill plus his 5 plus his +1 skill on Law. So that's 6 dice, minus 2 because it's the Abyss. So he's got 4 dice to try and close the gate. Whew. Thank God he got that 6. So he's closed the gate. He takes it as a trophy, but he can't seal it. He doesn't have the clues and he doesn't have an elder sign. But he does get the gate trophy. We can bless 1 person. Cool. Right, so we've managed to do that. Because we haven't used an elder sign, we can't take any doom tokens off or anything like that. But a nice good turn. A nice good encounter phase from Dexter. We can put the explode token back now. Right, after Dexter, it would be Diana Stanley, but she doesn't get an encounter phase because she's in a street area, unfortunately. So, once again, the fact she's only got 3 movement has meant we even miss out on an encounter. No problem. Okay, let's move to the Otherworld encounter phase. First in the Otherworld encounter phase is Wendy. So she's in the Underworld, so she needs a blue or a green gate card. That's red. Blue. Underworld we're looking for. So we've got Abyss, Celiano, it's going to be other. Pass a fight -1 check to hang on to your prize despite the wind. Draw 1 spell. I have a feeling a fight is at 1. No, it's at 0. So she doesn't manage to hold on to the spell. That'd have been nice, but at the end of the day, I'm just glad she hasn't been delayed or something nasty hasn't happened. So that's not bad. We will settle for that one. So that is Wendy's Otherworld encounter. Let's bob across and see Luke. And here we are with Luke. So Dreamlands is going to be the first one off the top because it's all colours. Oh, and it's actually got Dreamlands on it. Let's have a read. The meeping of ghouls in the tunnels echoes in your ears. Pass a will -2 check or lose 2 sanity. What's his will? His will is 4, so he's going to get 2 dice. Damn it! He's got 1 clue. Should he waste it? Let's just check his. We'll check his relationship cards and stuff. No, that's no good. That's an evade. He's got +1 fight. No! Is he going to use that clue token? No. So he's going to pay his 2 sanity and he's going to go down to 5. So it's gone down to 5 sanity. Not ideal, but again, he's got plenty of sanity, so it's not that bad. Could have done with making that check, but we didn't. Okay. Right, so that's it for the Otherworld encounter phase. That means we're straight on to the laugh and chuckle phase. And here we are at the mythos phase. First things first, when I close the gate for the abyss, I should of course have looked for hexagon monsters, and there is one. The flying polyp. So we've actually got to put a monster back, which is cool. Put him back in the bag. Excellente. Right, so after that small piece of good news, let's find out what the bad news is. And, oh, it isn't a rumour card, that's what we like. So we've got a gate at the Unvisited Isle, except we haven't because we've already got a gate there. So it's a monster surge. We've got 3 open gates, but 4 investigators, so that's going to be 4 monsters. It's giving us a lot of problems because if these guys turn into normal monsters when this rumour kicks off, we're nearer to 14. Once we get 14 monsters on the board and the terror track at 10, then Yig comes out. So it's even more vital that next turn we kill one of these. Right, so 4 monsters. Because it's the Unvisited Isle, that'll get the first monster. We've got 1, 2, 3. Independent Square doesn't have a monster on it. What that means then, Unvisited and Unnameable will get 1 each, and Independent Square will get 2. The reason for that is, that means we get 2 here, 2 here and 2 here, and we've got to have it as even as possible. So let's pick them out. Let's get near the bottom. Let's get near the bottom of the bag. So the first one, Unvisited Isle. A Dole. Oh, I've got 3 toughness. We pick some. Oh, and it puts us at the monster limit. Actually, we've only got 4 stands, so we get a Dole, the Unvisited Isle. Next monster, going to the Unnameable. Oh, got another Moon Beast. Oh, that's the Unnameable. Who's coming out? The Unnameable now. Good old Luke. At least it's easy to sneak by. I hope it doesn't do what its bloody brother did and end up in Miskatonic University streets. Right, next one. Independent Square gets 2. Oh, a zombie. God for that. An easy one. So, in fact, I think we may send Luke, depending on what this second monster is for Independent Square, that's where he may go. And the final monster for Independent Square, so it's 2 monsters per gate, is... oh, a fly. Get the flying polyp back. Either that or his mate has come looking for where the other one was. Right, so the flying polyp's back. Didn't get rid of him for long, did we? Right, so that's the monster surge. We get a clue. A clue appears at the science building, so I'll just go and dig a clue out. Brilliant, eh? 2 clues at the science building. Can anybody get there? No. Because they'd have to get through Monster Central. And now it's the monster movement. So first up is squares. No, hexagon, moon, circle, moon, moon, slash, slash. There were no diamonds. There was a circle though. I remember a circle. Is it this dole? The dole moves into the merchant district, which is far from ideal. But that's the only monster movement. Let's check our riff track. So squares, diamonds, circles. Again, we get another one on this second rift. Oh, we have 2 on this one here, and now we get second on that. Let's have a look. So, whoop, that's where we'd have to go to get rid of this token, and that is, where is that? It is Congregational Hospital. So we'll put that on there. Okay, so that's that done. It will overtake Darts Carnival, as it is another environment card. Let's just pop it in here, and then we shall read what it says. Alien technology. Environment urban. MyGo have their toughness increased by 2. Thank God we haven't got any. If any investigator passes a combat check against the MyGo, he draws 1 extra unique item. Nice. So this is just general for all over the board. So I'll just pop it up here at the top. Put it there. That's Carnival, can be discarded now. And put this back. Right. So I was going to say that's the end of the turn, but it isn't, is it? Because we've got to draw yet another monster for the rumour. Our 7th monster out of 8. And what have we got? Oh, it couldn't last. We've got a cultist. That's bad. We can't really kill cultists. Oh, in fact, maybe we can. Actually, maybe we can. I'm sure, like, some of our viewers will be able to help me out on this. But all through this, the terrible experiment, they aren't on the board, these monsters. They don't count to the monster limit. It's all the way through it. They do that to make it really awkward for you. But I think in this case it works in our favour. We can kill that cultist and we won't put a doom token on Yig because it's not on the board. So, interested to hear that. Somebody comes up with a compelling argument why, if I do kill that cultist, it should put a doom token on, then fair enough. But do you know what? I think we can kill that cultist. These guys aren't on the board. This rumour is sort of separate. Because they don't count as being on the board or in Arkham, I can kill it. And we don't put a doom token on Yig. And that's really good. That does work in our favour because it's quite an easy monster without that doom token thing. So I think that's what we'll do. It does have, its toughness goes up and it's highly poisonous. Its toughness only goes up to 0 from -1. So I think we can avoid getting bit by it. So, and I don't think it will put a doom token on. But anybody who's got any other thoughts on that, just let me know. But I'm pretty much leaning towards it's not going to. It has to be a convincing argument, people. Let's put it that way. Otherwise, I'm just going to say, no, it doesn't count. Right, so that's that. What about the turn? Well, it's really, really difficult and bitty and horrible. This constant getting delayed and stuff. You can't actually get on and do anything. Next turn will be the first turn that we can really, since the actual start, and even at the start we had Luke delayed, is the first time we'll actually start with everybody who not being delayed and everybody being able to actually crack on and do something. Wendy will be first, so she'll be able to come out of the underworld. She'll have to go to, where is it? The Unvisited Isle. Fortunately that dole has moved off. It's quite easy to sneak by anyway, so that's not too bad. But she will probably have to take on the vampire, which is -3 to a sneak. But if we push a sneak up, she'd probably be able to get past that as well. So anyway, first turn that she does come out of the underworld gate on the Unvisited Isle, she gets a chance to close it anyway. So hopefully she'll be able to close that and we'll have another monster trophy towards blessing people. gate trophy towards get blessing people. So that's what she'll be doing. Then it'll be Luke. Luke will finally get out of the Dreamlands. Hurrah! Where's he going to go? Probably Independence Square. Again, I don't think he's going to be fighting anything. He's got a +0 and a +1 with the zombie and the flying polyp, so he should be able to evade them. He'll be able to get out of there. And has he got any money? No. Oh yeah, he's got 5. He's got $5. So I think he could probably get to the curiosity shop. So that's enough to get an elder sign, or, you know, a half decent weapon or something. So we may send him there, or send him to the newspaper, get him, try and get him a retainer, because we need lots of money to buy lots of weaponry. Okay, who else? Then it'll be Diana. Diana has got to do a trade-in and get to the Miskatonic University streets fast. She will go to the woods, where she will meet Dexter, and then she will do the trade-in, and then she'll hot-foot it up to the university streets. She'll try and kill the cultist. If the cultist doesn't put a doom token on, the cultist and the buyer key, you know, they'll be quite easy. But before that, obviously, she'll have to take on the moon beast. But she's going to use bind monster for that. Hopefully have 10 dice, kick its ass. Then she'll kill one of those two. One of the easier ones. What's Dexter going to do? Dexter is going to move out of the woods and he's going to join her. But obviously he's going to be going after her. So he'll join her. Hopefully the moon beast will be gone by then. And he can kill, say, a couple more of the monsters. We'll have a look at the toughness, because it'd be ideal if we could get 5 toughness. If we get 5 toughness of monsters for both of those, then it's Blessing City again. And we can then look to say, let's try and get some money, let's try and get some better weapons, and then think of a plan for accelerating Yig coming onto the board and taking him out that way. We'll see how it goes. I mean, if things go really, really well, for example, if we close these 2 gates, Luke and Wendy, we will have actually 3 gate trophies. If we get a 4th gate trophy and we get another monster surge, yeah, manage to close the unnameable some way, guess what? We'll have no open gates on the board and 4 gate trophies. We win. So, you know, we've got to keep flexible. It's not very likely that happening. We'll probably get another gate opening, but we'll be flexible. We're not going to bless ourselves to the last second anyway. We don't want to be rolling for our blessings for turn after turn. Just before Yig is due to come out, that's when we'll try and bless everyone. Right, okay. Anyway, there's a lot of tactics to think about there. I've just thought of a few of those off the top of my head. I'm sure there's a few of you out there who've got better ideas, you know, once you've had a think about it. Anyway, thanks very much for watching. Thanks very much for all the subscriptions and all the views and all the tips and commiserations. It's been much, 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 much appreciated. Thank you. So, that's the end of turn 3 of Arkham Horror. There's Something in the Mist. I hope you join me for turn 4. But until then, this is me, Catweazle, signing off. Toodaloo.